Good afternoon. This is James Powell. I'm the Vice President of Practice Development with DocLoop. Thank you for taking the time to review today's call. DocLoop frequently asked questions. Before I get into the content, just a little bit about my background. I've been in the longevity space for about 2 decades. My primary role is to help physicians, practitioners in the longevity space, cash-based practices, preventive medicine, anti-aging, whatever your type of practice is. My role has been to help you grow these types of practices. And I've had the pleasure of helping well over 1,000 practitioners. So I'm going to really dive into some of the most commonly asked or frequently asked questions we get at DocLoop. Is DocLoop just another EMR? How does DocLoop actually save you time? Can you use your traditional labs and pharmacies that maybe you already work with? How do we help with patient retention, which is obviously a big key in this type of a practice? What type of ROI should you expect? And why should you ultimately, as a physician or a practitioner, I've trained many nurse practitioners, PAs, besides physicians. So we'll get into those questions. Is DocLoop just another EMR? Well, you might already use an EMR or EHR. As you probably know, they were initially developed for Medicare. As a matter of fact, it was kind of a Medicare requirement for reimbursement and then some private insurance. You can use your EMR and not use it. It doesn't matter at all. Quite frankly, our platform does a lot more than any traditional EMR or EHR. It really makes the functionality in your current system, I think, obsolete. If you want to still use it for things you use it for, that's fine, but you certainly do not have to. Personally, if it was me, I would not use it. I would just put everything in this platform. It'll do all your workflow, everything you could think of. I'll talk about the details here in just a minute. We can even import. It's very easy to import in data from EMRs, all your information. That can easily be done. So this is a much less complex system. There's a less administrative burden. You can gain faster clinical decisions. I realize some EMRs nowadays use some AI technology, but our platform is a fully integrated. It's AI powered. Again, it's specifically designed for these types of practices, integrating everything from lab analysis, diagnostic test analysis, coming out with specific individualized programs that would be common in this space, from exercise recommendations, nutritional recommendations, supplementation, any adjunctive therapies, certainly hormone replacement therapy and or other prescription type items. All of this, including order fulfillment, patient education, everything can be done in this DocLoop platform. Fully automated workflow makes things so much easier when you don't have to juggle or toggle through different networks, different types of platforms. For you and your patient, it's much more efficient. It's a much simpler process. And I'll touch on this here in just a few minutes. It even has built-in revenue channels. I deal with physicians and clinicians all the time that have had to make so many phone calls on a regular basis or over the years to try to get the pharmacy piece together. Maybe they call different pharmacies. Maybe they use certain pharmacies for this, certain pharmacies for that, depends on where the patient's located, etc. It can be very complicated. Things change without notice. It's an ongoing battle to have good prescription fulfillment. All of this can be done in our one platform. The same can be said for supplements, and with prescription items, we can put things in packages. So the patient's paying these fees. Of course, part of that fee is for your clinician time, your clinician oversight. By doing it that way, we can bundle things in packages where there's a built-in profit on that. And of course, we build in the profit margins. We give full disclosure to our clients. So you'll see, even for supplements, exactly what our cost is, what the recommended suggested retail is, which you can change if you want to. You see exactly down to the penny what your net profit is. In fact, you even see what our net profit is. On supplements and things like that, it's basically a 70-30 split. You're making 70% of the net profit. But again, all of that is full disclosure. More importantly, for you and your patient, it's all done in the same platform. And once you make the recommendations, which can be done obviously through AI analysis now with your oversight and your ability to revise is needed, it can all be done right there. How does it save you a lot of time? Well, actually, some of the things I just covered, you can quickly see would save you a lot of time anyway. It not only saves you time, but really it saves your staff time. It reduces administrative and documentation time by up to 40%. It can basically print out the programs, patient educational materials, your follow-ups, all that's automated. There's a calendar, all that's automated. And just having everything, imagine traditional lab analysis where probably 95% of what you're going to do is already printed out in seconds without you taking up 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you take. You can put your final touches on it within seconds. You can have individualized plans for your patient. And then again, the next step is after the labs or any other testing analysis, prescribing the protocols, fulfilling supplement and pharmacy ordering, the follow-ups you'll have with your patients, whether they're phone calls on a regular basis, whether they come in occasionally, whether you do quarterly or semi-annual lab follow-ups, whatever your protocol is. Again, automation is the key. I have in recent years found this to be invaluable in my own workflow in what I do. The fact is, this AI automation and workflow automation is just 1,000 times more efficient. It can do things. I mean, I can do these things myself in my own workflow, but take 30 minutes to do something that can take 30 seconds, or take an hour to work on something that can be done literally in less than 60 seconds. It's a game changer. A couple of common questions I get is, what if you're already using certain labs for your patients? What if you're using already certain pharmacies? Can you use what you already have? Well, let's talk about that. For labs, yes, it can integrate with any kind of a major lab out there, and we're adding to those integrations all the time. So that's a pretty easy process. Wherever somebody gets labs at, it can ingest the labs and do the proper lab analysis and protocols for you. So that's easy. Now with pharmacies, a little bit different on that. It doesn't necessarily integrate with every single pharmacy, and that is by design. We do that intentionally. We've already vetted pharmacies for the purposes of this type of practice, preventive medicine, longevity medicine, etc. And by the way, we're continuing for redundancy to vet these all the time. But we want the most reliable, most consistent, most clinically trusted compounding pharmacies. We use those. More importantly, we already have, as I said before, with supplement providers and pharmacies, we already have everything that can be done in one platform in seconds. You're ordering everything you could think about ordering for a patient, whether it's hormone replacement therapy, peptides, whatever it is, a supplement protocol, that can be done in seconds. And the profit margin is already built in. The tracking's built in. Your patient will get tracking. The follow-up is already on reorder status on a regular basis. So literally more efficient than you could ever do it on your own. And again, even the financial piece is built in. You'll see exactly what your margins are on those. And by doing it more efficiently, needless to say, it's much better for your patient. It's much easier for your patient. I myself have been on an age management longevity program as a patient for about 17, 18 years now. I've had to use multiple pharmacies over the years. I've had issues myself on a regular basis. Way too many to talk about here. It's frustrating. It's irritating. From a patient point of view, my doctors had to change pharmacies for multiple reasons, good, bad, right, or wrong. Not having to deal with any of those things in the direct ordering through the platform is just much better for everyone. Well, by doing it that way, you can naturally see it will improve patient retention. Some of my trainings over the years that I delivered to practitioners in longevity medicine has in fact been on patient retention. I've had multiple modules from simple to more advanced modules, how to identify problematic patients, how to do follow-ups for you and your staff. I mean, I've mapped it all out over the years. I've had the most intricate and detailed trainings in modules and recorded training sessions that I have delivered to longevity physicians and practitioners. I could speak hours on that. Well, again, in this case, with the DocLoop platform, by automating most of that, you take out that human error part of it. In fact, one of the simplest reasons I've taught on over the years, simple but avoidable, but was a constant problem, is just a lack of proper follow-up. Things fall through the cracks. The patient having their labs done every quarterly, for example, fall through the cracks. I've had patients not respond. I've had doctors actually have to find out from the patient that their labs were overdue, not just due, but overdue. In setting up a call to review or an in-person visit, again, all of this done in automated fashion here keeps the patient engaged. Imagine the patient educational materials to keep them involved in your program is all automated. The follow-up is done in an automated fashion. It leads to better, more consistent patient engagement. They certainly get better results, hands down better results in clinical outcomes. When you do all those things correctly, give them better outcomes, have less issues, avoid the logistical issues of order fulfillment, things like that. It just leads to better patient retention, which does affect your bottom line. What kind of ROI? Well, I know it's hard to predict exactly every element of automation, how it directly leads to your bottom line, but you can imagine just in time savings alone. In fact, think about someone starting a brand new practice in this field, which I get physicians or practitioners brand new to the space, just wanting to start with the space. They don't know where to go. They don't know what pharmacies to call. They don't know how the supplement piece works, how they get paid on supplements, if they get paid commissions on them. They look at maybe hiring an admin or maybe cross training someone who's new to the space. They're unsure of what to do. It can be very time consuming. They may have to hire additional staff. Well, not in this case. You can certainly see a lot more patients than you typically would when you have a platform like DocLoop to automate most of your workflow. And then again, building in the supplement and pharmacy revenue. I have physicians all the time that don't have to hire extra staff members. They don't have to look at different staffing issues and things like that. Different types of platforms where they incur expenses and other platforms to have to learn. All that can be avoided. Again, higher retention. It's really designed to be a revenue generating operating system for modern longevity practices. Why should you choose DocLoop as a platform? Again, not just physicians, but also nurse practitioners, PAs, or any other type of practitioner in this space. It's really, right now, at least in the world, it's the only fully integrated, really unified platform built specifically for these types of practices. Whether you do HRT, TRT, you call it your preventive practice, your functional medicine practice, your longevity practice, anti-aging, age management, concierge medicine. By the way, we even help you convert patients to concierge. We have all those models lined out. It's easy to follow. We have the blueprint, the map for that. It can consolidate every major clinical workflow and automate decision support, improve patient engagement, and creates all the revenue channels all inside of a single intelligent AI-powered, fully integrated platform designed for these cash-based practices. Saves you time for you and your team, keeps the patients engaged, and your practice is able to grow if it's a new practice, or if you already have a practice, to be able to grow to scale much more efficiently using less of your time and staff time. So if you're ready to scale or grow this type of a practice without losing control, I would love to have a conversation with you. My email is there, jpowell@docloop.com. That number is my cell number, 702-321-9716. Text me, call me. I've helped thousands of physicians and practitioners over 2 decades. It's never been as easy in the DocLoop platform to grow a practice, start a practice, thrive in a practice than it is. I would love to take a few minutes, learn about your practice now, learn about your goals, some of your challenges. I can give you guidance if this is the right platform for you. So, again, I look forward to having a conversation. Thanks again for taking the time.